Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Now, another interesting video. Now, today's video is going to be a follow-up over the current negotiations, the current back and forth that's going on with the foreign multinational corporations and the military government in Mali. Now, as you already know, the most recent development was when the military government in Mali went down to the gold mining complex and confiscated over $200 million worth of gold. They said them boys came in, flew in on a helicopter, landed in the gold mining complex, confiscated everybody's cell phones, and flew away with hundreds of $millions worth of gold and went straight to the state-owned bank. Went straight to the black-owned bank. And the reason for that is the CEO of the company, Barrick Gold, he currently has a warrant out for his arrest, and he been had a warrant out for his arrest that he refuses to come and address. Charges include money laundering, tax evasion, among other things. Now, for whatever reason, he doesn't want to address the charges. So that's why we had to confiscate the gold, right? As you can see, take a look up on the screen. Barrick suspends mining activities after Mali seizes $245 million worth of gold. So like I said, if anybody can locate the whereabouts of Mark Bristow, the CEO of Barrick Gold, please pass on the message. He has an arrest warrant out for his arrest. This is a PSA for Mark Bristow. He's probably somewhere on a golf course. I don't know, but listen, if anybody can locate Mark Bristow, let him know. Come down to Mali, come down to the capital of Bamako, handle your business, bruh. Anyway, let's get into it. The topic of today's discussion. Besides Barrick Gold, you remember that there was another company, another foreign multinational corporation, another gold mining company by the name of Resolute Mining. The CEO, the chief executive, was arrested and detained for about 2 weeks in Mali, and he was liberated after he coughed up about $160 million. But now we are getting word that this headline came out this morning. Take a look up on the screen. Resolute Mining CEO quits his job in the wake of the Mali ordeal. Wow, let's get into it. Terry Holohan, the CEO of Resolute Mining, announced that he will leave the company 2 months after being released from detainment by the Mali government. Wow. The black man done traumatized the white man. He said, man, I don't even want to do this anymore, bro. This ain't for me, man. This ain't for me. Now we gotta rewind, man. We gotta rewind for some of y'all who might not know what's going on or might not be familiar with the situation. Back in November, right? Back in November, as you can see, take a look up on the screen. Resolute Mining CEO and executives detained in Mali. That article came out back in the 9th of November last year, a couple months ago. Now, that same week, matter of fact, the day after that, the day after he was detained, take a look up on the screen. Resolute Mining shares plunged the most since 2008 after the CEO was detained. The day after he was arrested, the company lost so much goddamn market share. The shares fell so goddamn fast, they had to suspend trading on the entire stock. They had to stop all trading on the entire stock because probably everybody was selling off the damn stock. They said they never seen a plunge like this in damn near 20 years. Like I told you, brothers, the stroke of a pen, with the stroke of a pen, the black man can destroy billion-dollar multinational corporations. The black man can destroy entire economies. The black man can disrupt entire supply chains. The black man can make the entire global economic system come to a full stop with the stroke of a pen. Unfortunately, the black man doesn't understand the amount of leverage and power that he has on the international stage. You saw what happened to the French multi-billion-dollar multinational uranium company Orano. When they lost access to the uranium, what happened? The company collapsed in less than 6 months. Now, let's get back into it. Now, for the CEO to obtain his liberation back in November, he agreed to pay $160 million to resolve his tax disputes. Now, here's the thing. He said that he only had $157 million in the cash reserves. So he said he would pay half up front and the other half later, right? He said he'll pay it off in installments, but he paid down that $80 million to obtain his liberation. Now, take a look up on the screen. Resolute Mining shares slump again as the CEO resigns after Mali detention. So, back in November when he got arrested, the company damn near crashed, right? Stock price fell all the way down to the floor. I think it fell like 35% in a single day. Now today, after the announcement that he quit the job, the stock price once again fell down to the floor. Let's get into these articles. Mali, one of the world's top 20 gold producers and a leading producer in Africa, has long been a gold mining oasis for investors. But following President Assimi Goïta's rise to power in a military coup in 2021, the mining sector has become rather more of a mirage in the eyes of foreign capital. Goïta, who has invigorated demands for reclamation of national sovereignty, has begun to impose new rules on foreign mining operators. He called for an audit of the sector soon after coming to office, which claimed to find vast irregularities and concluded that Mali was losing millions annually in unpaid royalties and taxes. Resolute Mining announced on Monday the resignation of its chief executive officer, Terry Holohan, who was detained in Mali for 10 days in November. Holohan, along with 2 other Resolute employees, were held in Bamako, the country's capital, amid negotiations with Mali's military government over operational terms. The detention ended after the miner agreed to pay $160 million in installments to settle a tax dispute. Holohan took a temporary leave of absence in December. Chris Egger, currently acting as the CEO, will formally assume the role of CEO and also join the board of directors. Meanwhile, Dave Jackson, who is currently acting CFO, will formally assume the role of CFO. Egger said last week that the ordeal in Mali was the most challenging time the company has ever faced. Man, like I said, man, the black man done traumatized the white man. We done ran that boy out the industry. He said, man, listen, I resign, bro. This life is not for me. Mining gold, listen, it's not for me. I want to go home and be with my family. I want to go home and play with my kids. I want to go home and watch the game. I don't want to do this anymore. Let's continue. Egger said last week the ordeal in Mali was the most challenging time the company has ever faced, adding that the settlement agreement was a step toward paving a path forward for the company. However, efforts to re-engage with the Malian government have been hindered as officials remain preoccupied with discussions involving other mining companies. Listen, Assimi Goita was like, listen, I'm gonna get back to you, bruh. I gotta go chase down the other guys over there, right? They owe me like $500 million, so I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back. I'm gonna holler at you, bro. I gotta go chase down them other guys over there. Mark Bristow been ducking and dodging. I still gotta go find him, so just wait right there, bro. I'm gonna holler at you, bro. Take my number down. Text me. I'm gonna holler at you. Now, let's continue. There has also been significant concern among Western investors about the tactics being used to force compliance with the new code. The CEO and 2 other employees at Australia's Resolute Mining were detained in November when visiting Bamako to hold discussions with the mining and tax authorities regarding the company's business practices. Resolute Mining ultimately agreed to pay $160 million to resolve the tax dispute. Days later, the employees were released. Meanwhile, in late November, 4 employees of Canada's Barrick Gold were charged and detained pending trial, having earlier been arrested in September. In December, Mali authorities issued an arrest warrant for Barrick Gold CEO Mark Bristow. In mid-January, the company, which operates the Loulo-Gounkoto gold mining complex, announced the suspension of operations after the Mali government began seizing gold stored at the complex. Sources told Reuters that around 3 metric tons of gold, worth as much as $250 million, was moved to a helicopter by Mali soldiers who took it to an unidentified location. Now, once again, shout out to the big dog, President Assimi Goita, head of state, general of the army, chef de l'etat, General de l'armée. Man, shout out to the big dog, man, Assimi Goita. You already know what time it is. Now, listen, man, and this should be common knowledge, but this is how you got to operate when it comes to our adversaries. You see, folks get angry when you owe somebody like $200, right? You owe somebody $200, they furious, they angry. They ready to hurt you. Imagine you owe somebody, $160 million, $300 million, $500 million. How do you owe somebody that much money and you just walking around like everything is all cool, like everything is all good, bro? Like, I'm not gonna come see you about that. And that's what's been going down. President Assimi Goita, he been knocking on doors. He been coming at the CEO of every single one of these foreign multinational corporations. And he's like, listen, bro, we got to sit down and have a conversation. We got to sit down and examine their financial records. You running off with a whole bunch of money and you walking around like everything is all good, right? You on Instagram, you on a private jet, you on a yacht, you know what I mean? You doing interviews on YouTube, like everything is all good, bro. Where my money, bro? So that's what's been going down. And the vast majority of these companies have pretty much been on board with the new mining code, with the new laws governing the mining sector. It's only a couple companies like Barrick Gold, Resolute Mining, this company right here where the CEO resigned. It's only a few companies that wanna play hardball, that wanna, buck back and try to be defiant. But like I said, be defiant, we're gonna get you back in line, bro. The chief executive at Resolute Mining, he tried to be defiant. What happened? Had that boy locked up in an African prison. The chief executive of Barrick Gold, he wanted to be defiant. He wanted to run off from the arrest warrant. That's fine. We had to go down and confiscate, hundreds of $millions worth of gold and put it in the bank. That's fine. You want to be defiant? That's fine. We got something for that. And if you want to be honest, it probably wasn't the CEO himself who resigned. It probably was the shareholders in the company that pushed him out. And maybe they just gave him the honor of resigning to basically save face. But like I said, hey, CEO Mark Bristow, the CEO of Barrick Gold, you want to run off from the arrest warrant, you're going to be next, right? The shareholders going to push you out too. Keep running off from the arrest warrant. If you remember, I'd already showed you, there was a bunch of articles being written. Why is the stock price of Barrick going down when the price of gold is going up? Listen, hey, Mark Bristow, keep jeopardizing the performance and reputation of the company by avoiding addressing your arrest warrant. You're going to be right next to Terry Holohan, signing your letter of resignation. Now, you know what's funny, brothers? It's not only the CEO of Resolute Mining, Terry Holohan, that lost his job. If you remember, the chief of the French intelligence services, right? The DGSE, the French equivalent of the CIA, Bernard Arnault, he also lost his job back in December 2023, if you remember, right? I recently did a video entitled, take a look up on the screen, Ibrahim Traoré received 60 million euros to liberate the French secret agents. And in that video, I was talking about how back in December 2023, there were 4 French intelligence agents, 4 French secret agents working on behalf of the French government that were detained in Burkina Faso on charges of espionage. And they were detained and held in captivity for over a year until the French government eventually paid up to 60 million euros for their release. Go check out that video if you haven't. Classic. But many people don't know that after those agents were discovered and arrested, the chief of the French intelligence services, Bernard Arnault, he was fired. President Macron fired him. And it was not only because the mission went bad and the agents got discovered and arrested, but because it was overall, because under his watch, all these various governments got overthrown. Under his watch, all these various governments cut off diplomatic relations with us. Under his watch, all these various governments cut military ties with us. Under his watch, France's reputation in Africa went into the toilet under his watch. So to be honest, I can't even blame Macron, because this man took so many losses geopolitically and he was unable to detect or avoid any of them. Obviously, you are useless, right? You are a useless director of intelligence, right? Macron told him, bro, get the hell out of here, bro. And he appointed his mans. And not only that, but this guy, like I said before, he can't even find a job in politics anymore. Take a look up on the screen. Unable to get a new job from the Elysee Palace, the ex-DGSE head, Bernard Arnault, moves into consulting. That boy had to go into political consulting, bro. That man went from being the head of basically the French CIA to having to start his own little consulting firm, his own little startup, janky consulting firm. That's 2 individuals who done lost their job, done lost their careers coming up against the black man in the past couple years. The head of the French CIA, fired. The CEO of Resolute Mining, fired. And CEO Mark Bristow, Barrett Gold. I got an asterisk next to your name. Anyways, it's your boy Nevercard Salim back in the Billy. Yes, indeed. Cash App in the description. Support the channel, man. Support the album. Peace.
Yeah, I'm focused on fortification. I'm trying to step out of the matrix. I'm finna be all in your playlist. The haters gon' look and amaze me. I'm taking my time and I'm patient. They tell me I make it look easy. I'm going and they never gon' reach me. I cut off my phone, I'm back on my zone. Yeah, I'm back on my own, the king of my castle and forging my own path. I'm back on the dawn, I know they be watching it lately. I'm pressing the gas. These niggas be clones, they selling they soul for currency. I be like, man, just leave me alone. Lil' mama, she look like a dancer. I'm back in my zone, I got hundreds and fifties, they treat me just like I'm a master. I'm back in the city, I'm feeling imperial, plotting on power expansion. I can't show no love, I got pain in my heart, but I hide it when I'm on the camera. I'm young and I'm raising the standard, and I don't be doing no features. These niggas be talking about killing and robbing, I'm steady relaxing and leisure. The spirit of kings, we never gon' die, we taking it back with the leaders. They came and invaded, the enemy raided and put all that shit in museums. Real talk, and I still can't believe it. I pull up and shine on them, I pull up and ride on them, I pull up and flex with the team, you know we gon' style on them. I'm cold like 7 degrees whenever I rhyme on them. This shit like COINTELPRO, my nigga they spine on us. Fuck how they feeling, I'm bossed up. Enemy finna get tossed up. Come on the block and then buy it up. Back in the biz and I'm riding up. I'm ready for war and they hiding out. I told the creator I'm riding out. They up in the crib and they popping out. I'm close to the limit, I've been in route. Yeah. Weight on my shoulders, it feel like a boulder. Ghost written by the kings, I decoded like high priest. Certified unrooted. I'ma get it till they tell me it's over. I'ma get it till I'm way up and noted. Meditated so I'm closer to God. Pretty soon we gon' be on the top. Yeah, I'm focused on fortification. I'm trying to step out of the matrix. I'm finna be all in your playlist. The haters gon' look and amaze me. I'm